What's up, guys? Jason Guyman here tonight. We're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects because we are on Christmas lights and we are on pressure washing, and that, my friend, is marketing. Marketing, I believe, is the most important or one of the most important things that you can do in your business that's going to help set you apart and that is going to help you grow your business. You can be the best Christmas light installer. You can be the best pressure washer, you can be the best landscaper, you can be the best of that. But if you don't know how to market your stuff, if you don't know how to get your name out there, it's going to do nothing for you. You will go out of business. I've seen it over and over and over and over. And so tonight we're going to talk about marketing. And I was just on my phone with a good friend of mine talking about one of the things that makes marketing well is one of the biggest things that you can do is take action, right? You have to take action. I can give you everything that you need, and if you just hope and dream that something's going to happen, and I promise you, it will not happen. You have to take action to make it happen, and things will be awesome. And you might say, well, Jason, I just don't know. I can't do this or I can't do that. Well, I want to tell you something. I got a little story here today. Before we get going here, I'm going to just go ahead and tell my little story here. And one of my little story here is my friend, Rick. I've been working with him doing his marketing. I started doing his website, and we've been working together getting his website up and getting it optimized, and it's starting to rank really good. And then he also wants to do other marketing for him, so he's done very well on yard signs, and he wants to do other things. And so one of the things that I had to help him get through, and it took both of us to get this done, is to get his Google local ads set up, right? Google local service ads. You might think, well, Google local service ads, that shouldn't be that hard, right? Well, I want to tell you something. I worked with him. We've been on 2 or 3, 4 different Zoom calls trying to get this stupid Google local service ads up. And so I've had to overcome a lot of stuff to be able to get his Google local service ads up. And a lot of people would be like, well, Jason, I would have just, even Rick's like, I would have gave up and I would have punched the screen on the computer, and I would have just gave up. But you know what? It's not about giving up. It's about taking action. It's about putting one step in front of the other. And guess what? You will get results. And so actually Rick says he's here. And so, you know, it did take some time. I had to get on his stuff. He had to get on Zoom calls, and we had to figure it out, and we were able to get it done. And even after the fact, I'm sitting there messaging because I got to get into account and just trying to get this done. And, you know, a lot of people, I understand it can be difficult, but I promise you, you can do it, and that is awesome. So what I want to talk about tonight is I want to do more of a Q&A. I want to do a Q&A. So if you have questions, I want you to start putting your questions in for Google Maybe it might be Google Business. Maybe it might be Facebook, something along those lines. And I want to answer your questions tonight. So put them in the comments. I actually got a little bit. If someone wants to give me their Google My Business, I will look over your Google My Business, and I can tell you some things that you can do to help optimize it if you haven't optimized it or you don't know what to do. So if you have a Google business, put it down in the description here or in the comment, and I will go pick 1 or 2 and kind of walk through the Google business side of your business. So what I would ask for is the link to your Google My Business and also the business name. So if I can't find it by the link, I'll be able to find it by the Google or by your business name. So if I can get those 2 things, that's what I'll do. And I will share my screen. I'll kind of walk through what you can do to optimize it better for 2025. I've been looking at a lot of Google My Businesses, and a lot of Google My Businesses are missing stuff. And so I will help you and walk you through of some things that you will be able to do. So we got Jason in the house. Before I get here, I want to say one more thing. My book of the week is a book that I haven't posted in a while, and I haven't talked about it, But being that we're talking about marketing, well, guess what? We got to talk about $100 million leads. Again, this book is the book of the week. If you haven't bought this book, you should. If you don't have the money to buy it, you can get it on YouTube for free. You can get it on, if you go to his podcast and you can get on the podcast, he actually read the book. You know, there's like 4 or 5 podcasts that have this book on it also. So there's no reason that you can't get to this book. So again, this is the book that I would highly recommend you to read, being that we're talking about marketing, because marketing is key. If you want to get to $100 million leads, you got to do marketing to be able to do that. So that's what I'm going to say about that. $2,100 day at 3:30. Raise your prices. Jason is my friend. I don't know why he still got GC Paint Solutions on here, but he does. That's what he decided he was going to start originally. Then he found me, and now he's doing $2,100 days in pressure washing in Florida. You know, the great thing I love about Jason is, and he hates every time I tell this story, is when he gave me, he was one of my first people in my mentorship where I did the Zoom calls and where I did the face stuff. And he was one that when he started, he's like, Jason, you just don't understand. There's $99 guys down here and they're everywhere. There's 40. One day he sent me, he's like, there's $49 guys down here. You can't make money in Florida. And I said, don't worry about your competition. They'll go out of business. And here's the thing. Here's the kicker about Jason. All the guys he thought were the big guys down in his area have either sold out or went out of business, or most of them have. And so, or he's actually tried to buy some of these guys out. And when you see the profit and loss statements, you're like, he's ready to go out of business, right? And so don't worry about your competition. Yes, you can make money in Florida where there's 100 pressure washers in 2 square miles, and you can still make money in 2025, just as you could in 2020, 2015, all the way back. Started my Facebook page and posting 3 times a day. There you go, taking action. I love it. Mr. AJ, what's up? How are you doing? Mr. Mark, how are you doing? What's up? Chicagoland, what's up? How are you doing? Rick Newsy in the house. He's going to hit $750,000 this year. I'm going to help him one way or another to get there. So we're going to get there one way or another. Let's see here. How my computer is being a little. America, how you doing, Matthew? What's up? I hope everyone is feeling great. Get these leads. That's right. You got to get the leads. Had a tech washing driveway today while I did a 5-around. Had a Karen threaten to call the HOA security. Then 3 people followed her asking for quotes. And yes, is behind the nose, right? You know, most people would get scared and then quit when they start hearing the Karens coming and doing that. And you just got to remember that every no that you get is one step closer to the yes that you want. So it's all about how do you get those no's so you can get faster to those yeses. And yes, sometimes it can be hard. You know, I was listening to Gary Vee. And I like listening to Gary Vee because, and even with this here, right? Even with Alex Hormozy, when people come to me and they're like, Jason, I need more jobs. I need more business. I'm like, great. What are you doing now? I'm doing yard signs. Awesome. How many yard signs you're doing? I did 25 this year. Are you talking this week or this year? This was in June. He started back in May or April, and you put out 25 yard signs in 4 months, and you wonder why you ain't got no business? I'm like, bro, it ain't about that. You know, Gary Vee was talking to a guy, and he was trying to get funding. And so when he was trying to get funding, he's like, I reached out to 25 people and they all said no. And Gary V's kind of like what I would do if, that's funny, you haven't even got started. He's like, you need to reach out to 500 people and you might get one or two, right? And so you got to do the same thing. Of whatever you pick, you got to go out there and do it. You know, here's the thing. My friend here, Daniel, I was just on the phone with Daniel. He was calling, he did very well in Christmas lights this year. He did very well, very, very well for Christmas lights. He almost tied my other guy that did $600,000 in his second year. And here's the thing about it. He was calling 15 to 25 people a day in August and in July and in June, and he was picking up the phone and asking them if they want Christmas lights, right? And so guess what? That's how you're able to excel. It's not about being simple and easy and not doing anything. You got to do the work. You got to put the reps in, because here's the thing. A lot of times you put the reps in, and what you'll find out is you will learn how to start selling better. You know, I always tell people, I could give you $1 million worth of leads, but if you don't know how to close those leads, you're going to get $1,000. But if you get to the reps, you learn, you get better at your craft. You know, I love these guys in the Christmas lights that are all about the craft. You just got to be excellent at your craft. What about your freaking marketing craft? How excellent are you there? Or do you suck there, but by God, my peak bulb is at the peak and everything is just perfect and blah, blah, blah. I want you to be excellent at your craft. I want you to be able to answer this phone every time it rings. And when it does ring, you make sure that you are giving them what they want and you're giving them the quote in 10 minutes. Or if you're going to do it in person, you go out there that day and get it, that in-person quote. You're not quoting this thing 3 days down the road. You're doing that quote right now. That's what separates you from your competition. That's what I want to see you craft. And you're not going out there looking like a bum, right? You put on a nice polo. You have nice pants on. You have nice shoes on. Well, Jason, I'm a pressure washer. Okay, what's your point? What's your point? You that's an excuse. I don't want excuses. I want you to be great at your craft. I could care less if you're the best Christmas light installer in my town or the best pressure washing. Because I know a lot of those guys, and guess what? They go out of business. You know why they go out of business? Because they're the best pressure washer, and that's what they focus on. Here's the thing. If you don't know how to market and sell yourself, I don't care what you're trying to sell, you're going to go out of business. So, and I know it's only been 13 minutes. I'm already wound up on this tonight. I just got off the phone with Daniel, and he done got me wound up. Good evening, good evening. How you doing, Mr. Artie? Jason, give me all the cheat code to success. You want the cheat code? Here's the cheat code. Consistency and taking action. That is the cheat code. Here's the thing. You know, I was talking to Daniel the other day, and Daniel is a soccer player. He played professional. His dad was a professional soccer player. And you know, I was telling him the other day because my daughter plays, and he's like, most people complicate soccer, right? It's the same thing with pressure washing and marketing. Most people like to complicate it. A lot of it is you buy yard signs and you go put them out week after week after week after week after week after week after week. It's not about, well, what I don't, you know, and here's the thing. You got to keep it simple, right? I've seen a bunch of yard signs here lately, and they haven't been listening to me. You know how I know they ain't been listening to me? And I bet they don't work very well for them. Because they got 57 services on their yard sign. Nobody's going to read 57 services. And here's another thing that people do. They want to get fancy, right? So they're going to use house washing or roof washing. Most people don't have a clue what that is. So keep it simple, right? It's kind of like Daniel said a couple weeks ago or last week when I was talking to him of this game of soccer is real simple. We just like to complicate it. The game of marketing is real simple. We like to really complicate it, right? Now, yard signs work. Google My Business, right? We get on our Google My Business. Do you have it all filled out? Do you have pictures? And I'll tell you, if I see somebody here, I'm going to talk about pictures. I looked at a Google My Business the other day, or today it was actually, for another person that I'm going to do a website about. And the pictures that you put on there are very important. If you're a pressure washer and you're putting trailers in the nastiest, greenest, ugliest houses on your Google My Business, do you think the person that lives in a $500,000 $1 million house wants you washing their stuff? No, they don't. They don't want it at all. And I see it all the time. Why are we putting pictures of these dirty, nasty houses? I don't want pictures of dirty, nasty houses. I want pictures that you have cleaned that are clean. Because guess what? That is my customer. We had this conversation on our Monday night marketing call. One of the guys is like, man, I found the perfect neighborhood. And I said, I'm going to bet you didn't find the perfect neighborhood. I'm going to bet that nobody in that neighborhood cares less about how dirty their house is. Because when you look down that street and all the houses are nasty green, they haven't taken care of their grass, they don't have nobody taking care of their bushes, they don't have nothing. That's not your customer, right? And then when you do get one of those customers, you're all proud of it and you're going to go put a picture of. I know I did the same thing. I did the exact same thing, right? I was like, look at this, is going to be a perfect picture. People don't want to see that. They want to see the big houses that you're cleaning. They don't want to see the nasty looking trailer that you're cleaning. They want to see the big houses. They want to see the big businesses that you're cleaning. So then they know when they drive by, that is your business and that is what you're doing. So streamline cleaning is my business. I checked my Google business today. I'm doing better than with my Facebook post, but I don't get enough work to update photos on Google. What should I do to improve it? Do you you don't have to be up to date. Do you have pictures of you and your crew working? Do you have pictures of your equipment working at nice houses? Do you have just your crew pictures of nice in front of a restaurant or something? That's all of that stuff we can do to do that. Mr. Jeff Hall, how are you doing? Tree of Righteousness, Redding, California. Door to door is where I'm going to start. How is the best way to handle rejection? Okay, go on to the next one. Some of the rejection is, if I got to talk to my spouse, if I've got to, you just move on. Every no is closer to a yes, right? But have a script ready. So when they say, I need to talk to my wife, there's things that you can do that will help you curve that in the beginning, right? When you start the conversation, you can curve that, hey, can you make decisions on who needs to clean the house and stuff? And if they tell you yes, then when they go at the end and they'll be like, well, I need to talk to my husband or my wife. I thought you said at the beginning of this conversation you could answer that question. So if you craft your script right and know what the objections are, you can hammer head on those objections right out of the get-go, right? We're going to just knock those objections right out of the get-go. And so those are things that you can answer questions that will answer those questions that they're not going to be able to give you an objection on. And one of the things is when you first get there are both of them there, right? Is the husband and wife there? Or can you make a decision without the other person? So just some things that you can do to help that. I'm near Friendswood, Texas. Hey, Jason, I wanted to ask about bidding for a 12-story building. Is there a certain way to bid for having to go up that high? Yes. One, you got to see if you can get a lift that high. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. You can get a 120-foot lift, which would probably get you up that high. When you get that lift, you need to get quoted out how much it's going to cost you, because it's probably for about $20,000 for the week, or it's about, not $20,000, it's about $4,000 for that lift, $4,000 or $5,000 for that lift for the week, unless you can find one cheaper. But I wouldn't want to get too cheap on a lift because you're up there high. I will tell you, up 120 feet is scary for me. I don't like it. When the last time I was up on a 120-foot lift, the whole basket was shaking. And I'm like, why is this basket shaking? And I look at my buddy, Jeremy, good friend that I've been friends with since I was 8, 9 years old. And I'm like, why is this basket shaking? And he said, look at your knees. And my knees were down there going, shaking the whole basket. This was about day 5 of this job, and I was about done. So that was the last time I've been in a basket that was 120 feet up in the air, and I could care less if I never go back up there again. The older I get, the more I like staying on the ground. Now, there is some things that you can do too, is to see if you got a person in your area that does the drones. You can do the drones. You can do that, because here's the other thing on that lift. A lot of times when you get those 120-foot lifts, you got to put it on your insurance. So your insurance has to be able to do that too. So if you can find a guy that's got a drone that'll come out and use their drone, I don't know what they charge, what the rate is, but that's a way that you don't have to get off the ground that way. Joined King of Pressure Washing a while ago. Was wondering when you host the Zoom meetings on it. Every Monday night. Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time. If you go into the marketing, it'll say Monday night Zoom call or something like that. Whether it's on the pressure washing the Christmas lights, and it'll be the top link is the link that you want. It's in there. And then all of the recordings are underneath of that. So every Monday night, the last 3 weeks, I've been hitting LinkedIn really hard. I was supposed to hit on automation this week. I didn't hit on automation. I hit on AI. So I guess it is automation. It was just a different type of automation. But we hit on AI this week, and how you can use AI in your LinkedIn, and how you can set up the comments and all of that stuff through AI. So I've given you some chat GPTs of different ways that you can set up your LinkedIn. And so that's what I have been doing. Door hangers, where can I get some? Moneybushes.com has them. I couldn't think. I had a brain fart. Moneybushes.com, you can get them. There's a couple other places, but I don't know. Google my business, Miami Holiday Lights. My GMB is that. How important is landing Facebook ads page for Facebook ads and Google ads? How important is a landing page for Facebook ads and Google ads? For Facebook ads, you don't need a landing page. You can actually either do Messenger, or you can do where it'll fill it out there and you don't even need to take them off Facebook. Google ads is very important. You got to have a landing page for Google ads. You don't have to have a Google. You have to have a website, I believe, for Google local service ads. So it can be the template website. It don't have to be nothing special. Sorry, tried sending the Google business profile and I don't know how to do it. What do we need to do to optimize our Google My Business? Matt, hey, what's up, Freedom? Louisville, Kentucky in the house. You're about an hour and a half from me. Hour and a half. Let's see. I was going to say, so I'm headed to Myrtle Beach tomorrow for in-person training. It's going to be awesome in-person training because it always is. It actually is going to be awesome because I have Chris Johnson there. And so I will be driving down tomorrow to Myrtle Beach from here. Yeah, it's a 10-hour drive. I would have flew, but I got too much crap to take for my training. So that's why we're driving. What's up, Illumin? Good evening, sir. How's Jay doing? Marketing. I rejoined the chamber and went to luncheon and invested in a tabletop, $40 more, total investment $125. Commissioner came to my booth. Fast forward, that turned into $40,000. You know, that is a great point of what you invest in, right? You have a network of people, and that is an awesome thing that you can do. Following up got me 2 closes this week. Follow-up game is huge part of the sales process. I would almost say it is just as important as the sales process because a lot of people don't make decisions because they're a type S or a type C type personality, and those type of people are 80% of the people out in the world, and they don't like to make decisions. So that's why you got to follow up. By the way, I couldn't keep up with our leads this year, all from yard signs. Average ticket $4,000 in Miami. No ads, $178,000. That is awesome. You know what I always tell people when they say that they can't keep up with the leads? Just raise your prices. Just keep raising your prices. Because when you raise your prices, you don't turn people away, right? You just they turn themselves away. And so that is freaking awesome right there. I just ordered 1,000 yard signs tonight before the call, getting ready for the spring. That's what we're talking about. Thanks to you. Well, you're welcome, sir. I love your success story. Thanks, Jason, for helping everyone. Business owners be like, I knocked 30 doors and didn't get a deal, but you need to learn the art of how to talk, how to create value, trust, collecting, and stay consistent on the doors. Yep. Unless people start to complain about your yard signs or flyers you're putting out, you're not anywhere close to putting out enough. My secret is posting yard signs at Starbucks drive-thru, Chick-fil-A drive-thru, and the best for the laced Costco entrance and exits. My phone blows up. We love yard signs. Sales training never stops. Even Bradley had a coach this whole career. Sales training. How's everyone doing? Doing good. Or they claim they are number one in the business. I am sending a quote right now. Busy since January 1st. That's awesome. You know, and I've seen a lot of people busy this year. I know it's going to be a great year. I've seen a lot of people already busy. So that is awesome to see that people are already spending money and people are already making money at the beginning of this year. So that's awesome. I have to connect with Daniel. I'm Dan, and all of my installers are international students and all play soccer for FIU. Well, that's cool. And answer your phone. This one here is the most important thing you got to do. Good info. Going to start going those places. Do you register your business for voice search? Yeah, you can. I don't know how much that's going to, the AI, it's just going to be a little bit of everything. It's dirty for a reason. We'll still want to look over GMB. I do. I need to get up there, but you guys ask a lot of questions, so that's why I will get to it. For signs, thinking about substituting phone number for QR code to get a quote, thoughts, I think that's not a good idea. And here's the reason why I don't think that's a good idea. Because you're moving too fast to be able to get that. And two, there's been a lot of scams that people know of by the QR code. So people may be gun shy of it. But on the other hand, I'll say this. I would test it. Buy 100-yard signs and test them. See, and if you want, you can actually put the QR code on the back side of them and put the sign on the front. Put those out. Put them out where that QR code is looking the way you want it to show, and see if anybody starts filling it out. I might be completely wrong. The only way you know is to test, and the only way you got to do it is test it. Buy you 100 or 200-yard signs, put them out and see. Put 100 one way and 100 the other way, and see which one. If you get more phone calls or if you get more quotes through the QR code. So testing is very, very important. My business is streamlined. All right, we'll do this. Well, shoot. All right, let me pull up I've got like 57 screens opened up here. Maybe more. All right, so before I move over there, because let's see if I go to screen. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna move my head over here. So we'll see if that comes up. Streamline exterior cleaning, Friendswood, Texas. All right. So I'm assuming this is you. We hope this is you. You got 90 reviews. We got the phone. We're open. Suggested edits. We do this area. Facebook, you have your products in here, and we have reviews. Look at the old trusty dusty. Oh, this is not reviews. So first off, this is your posting, your GMB posting, and so you haven't posted since December 4th, and before that, you had posted one. You had only posted 2 for Christmas lights, so you're only posting once or twice. This is something that you need to do about 3 to 4 or 5 times a week, is to put your Google Business post. And so you can do all kinds of things. You can do the review like you did here. You can do the concrete cleaning. Then that would take you to the concrete page of your website. Is actually a little bit better than the call now button, because when people are looking at this far down, they want to do it there. So that's one thing that you can do for your stuff. Also, I wouldn't steal people's pictures. This is a stolen picture. Everybody knows that it's a stolen picture. It's probably the most stolen picture out of all over the internet. And it's probably made $1 billion over how many people have stolen that picture. But he will let you take it down a lot of times, but I don't know if he's still at it. The next thing, too, is you don't have no questions and answers. So if you've been in business for a little while, because you did business last year. So what are common questions that people call you and ask you? And so this is something that I would try to do a couple of months of putting it there. And you can ask the question yourself, and then you can answer that question. And so this is a good place to fill this out. Again, we want to try to feed Google as much as we can. So go ahead and put, if you have 20, 30 questions, that's fine, because we're wanting to feed Google of what we're trying to do. And so you have no questions. And that could be, what's your service area? What does a roof cleaning cost? Or, you can hit on a lot of different things there for this. So this is something that you really should do to make sure you got your question and answers. So again, one is to make sure that you are posting on your blog or are posting here, and 2, do your Q&As. Put them in there. You have your tech. You have it here. I'm assuming this probably isn't going to take me to where my appointment was. This page should really take you to the contact page, is where you want this page to go. So you want that page to go. It does. I was completely wrong about that. Sorry. So you got it going there. I don't know what this looks like in mobile, but that's fine. This is okay. These here, I don't like to do too much big stuff here. The Google Business Profile is fine. Google Maps. Facebook, you want to be on the Facebook, but I want it to be small, because the last thing I want to do is get them back off my site, right? Our whole goal is to get them on our site and we want to keep them on our site. So that's something that I would definitely look at doing. You got your services here. One of the things I would say to do too is that can help your Google My Business, which will also help your Google My Business, is to have your, I don't know where you, like right now, other than Friendwood area, that's the only thing I know about this area, right? I do have some of the cities in here, but I like to have a page of its own city, because then that page, I can do a one over here, then that will send me back over here. So then that gives me that. On our photos, let's see, I always like to go check people's photos out. So you have your employee, which that is good, right? And this is a house that we want, right? This looks like they keep their grass mowed, looks nice. They got their bushes look nice. They got them trimmed for the most part, and the house ain't nasty dirty. These are the pictures that we want to post. And it has a human in it. The human aspect goes a long way, more than just a dirty picture after dirty picture after dirty picture, right? So a dirty picture, most houses usually aren't that dirty unless you're in Florida or somewhere where it gets really dirty really fast. But most of your customers are not that. And I know that that ain't always the best picture, but even this is all up close, right? We're not seeing the big, nice house way back from where. And that's what we really want to see. We want to see, I would rather see this as a house than for even pressure washing than the dirty before and after pictures. You got your yard sign, that's fine. Again, here. Another thing is it don't look like you're adding a lot of pictures. You've added some, but this is something that we should be adding pictures in here of a couple a week. Again, we got the dirty pictures up close, but you know, this house probably looks way better if it was way back. I can't tell which is dirty and which is clean hardly here. And so that would have been a better picture of that flagstone staff cleaning way back. And that way that people know that, hey, he can clean that type of rock, right? And so that's kind of what we're hitting on. And then even better, I could put my truck in front of it if you got a nice wrapped truck. That way it looks professional, because I haven't even seen your truck or your equipment. So now if you don't, and you don't have a lot of pictures, you want 100 pictures. You might have close to 100. Yeah, because I thought it quit going, but you probably got close to 100 here. So you're good on the pictures. I just back them up a little bit. See, look at, you know, it just does better when you back it up and you show the nicer houses, because most of the houses I want aren't this dirty, right? Most people aren't paying to have those houses cleaned. Most people. I'm not saying all. I'm saying most people. Or they want it done cheap, because that's why it got that dirty. It got that dirty because they didn't clean it, you know. That's what, and even this big house here, I would have took a nice picture of it clean with your yard sign in the front of it and you pointing at it. Put the human aspect in it. It looks like you're a young guy, so don't be afraid to show your face. Because I haven't seen your face one time in one of these pictures. There is the only one I've seen your face. I'm assuming that's you. And so that's the only picture that I've been able to see that, right? And that goes a lot further of he's trustworthy, you know, he's a friend. He goes a long ways when you start looking at it that way. So that's the things I would suggest for you on this picture here, or on that. Steam line, pressure washing, window cleaning, and more. I like the name. The name will help you get stuff too. But I will say, make sure if this is your, if this is not your business name that is on your, I wouldn't change it now, but if it is not your business name that is on the state and it gets rejected, it can screw you hard. So that's what you got to be careful of. You obviously have your pressure washing services is the category. It's really good. See, look, these are pictures here that are great pictures of you working on the equipment, you doing stuff. And that, you know, sometimes people are like, well, my stuff ain't much, but that goes a lot further that way than anything else, right? Even your truck right here. So you're showing the types of houses you're doing. Even if I know you got your logo on a magnet, but you know, you got to start somewhere. So That's why you want to do that. But if you can get your customers to write a review and put pictures, that helps you out a lot. Mason came and knocked on our door to let me know he was working on the driveway next door because of a noisy and proximity to my driveway. As a true professional, then proceeded to tell me he would power wash our sidewalk and curb for potential inconvenience. My neighbor driveway looks immaculate. My sidewalk and curb looks amazing, 10 out of 10. I'm definitely hiring him to clean my exterior. So he didn't even clean the dude's house, and he's getting a 5-star review, right? Great work, Mason. And so if you can get them to talk about things of where you're located at, your name, and what service that you're trying to do, which is usually pressure washing. So, and then you're also you are replying back to them, which is great. Make sure that you're liking them. That will also help you out. So all of these little things that we don't need to do will help you out, and I'm helping you out by doing it. I hired Mason with Steamline outdoor and couldn't be more impressed. Start to finish experience was exceptional. Mason was incredibly professional, arriving on time and ready to work. His communication was top notch. He kept me informed throughout the process and was very responsive. This is the thing. When you do the little things, they will come out in the reviews, and that's what you want, because when people are like, well, she had a great service, and they talked about all the little things, that is definitely something that will help you out a bunch too. Again, you got more pictures from them, so all of that will definitely help you out in the end. So again, you responded to your reviews, which is good. Your pictures, like I said, I would put more pictures of you in there. You're a young looking, good looking guy, and people might hire you just because of it. I've known people to do that. So these are your house washing here. House washing, remove all organic. And not just sell some of this, but sell the benefits, right? What are the benefits of house washing? Those are things that I would look at. So, but it looks good. I would definitely do more posts and keep them up to date. If you can do 4 or 5 a week, would be excellent. It'll help you out a bunch. Make sure you're answering some questions. Streamline solution is cost-effective and way to go about cleaning all exteriors of your home, being a homeowner. So this is the description. So I like to put in the description of what you do, what you kind of do that, but also where you do it at. So that way you're telling Google of what you do and where you're doing it at. So that's kind of what my suggestions would be for this one here. Rick, I have a better idea for you. Address the objections they will have beforehand. Yep. Moosey I love Jason's answer. He's freaking knows. Guys, let's go. Rayway made in about time. Gino, I haven't seen you in a while. For marketing, should I start with hiring someone to do SEO, work to rank your website, or put money into Google Ads? It really does depend on what your objective is, and who you're paying to do it. I think that SEO can do well, but it's going to be something that's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take you 6-8 months. So if you need business now, if you pay someone to do SEO now and think that it's just going to blow your phone up, it ain't going to happen that way. So Google Ads will get the money in now. So you kind of got to look at it both ways. What do you want, the long term versus the short term? Hire a guy to stand at a major intersection close to a red light. Have him dance with music with your yard sign, couple A-frames with number balloons. Buy him a cowboy outfit on Amazon for $30. I mean, if I was going to do it, I probably wouldn't put a man out there. Just saying. You need insurance for tall buildings, Henry. Do you have the experience to do something like this? Yeah, you do need insurance for it. A lot of your insurances only go to 4 stories. So, and a lot of times when you do those bigger ones, if they'll want you to have, I think we were up to $3 or $4 million insurance policy to be able to do those those bigger buildings. I had a guy do this for Christmas lights with Santa Helper's outfit. It worked wonders for me. I can believe that. Customers first. Hello, Jason. How are you doing tonight, sir? Pay him $100 for 3 hours. Money well spent. Mr. Sean. Hi, folks. Hope everyone is doing great. Doing great. Let's see. Zach, it's snowing, and there is snow on the ground in Idaho. I'm going to do door-to-door this weekend. I'm shooting to getting reservations when it's nice as well. Figured out what my costs are. Just need a downstream. Also been reading Think and Grow Rich. It is a great book. 100% great book. What apps used for text back from web form request? What apps used for text back from web form requests? It depends. So, like, I have my system that does it. It can do it. High level can do it. There's, some of your, not really. I was going to say some of your CRMs might be able to do it, but most of them don't. I've heard you talk about traveling up to an hour when you were on the truck to get higher quality customers. How were you marketing in areas that far away to acquire new customers? Thanks in advance. So yeah, so we did. So like, it's probably going to be easy. Let's see if I can kind of show you here what I mean. Because it'll be easier if I can show you. Well, that was too far out. Let me show you here what I mean here. All right, let me go here. Show you scene. So I live down here in this area down here at the bottom, which you can't see. Let me zoom up. There we go. So I live down here in the area down this way. And so where my high-end areas was there's one little spot down here. It's called Union, Kentucky. That was one spot. Fort Thomas is a high-end spot. And then Hebron is a little bit of a high-end spot. But they're nothing of what I wanted. This up here in Blue Ash and Loveland and Indian Hill. Indian Hill is super rich. And so you have Mason and Fairfield ain't rich. Mainville, Westchester's up in here. So these were all my Liberty Township is all up in here. So when I named my business, everybody calls, if they're calling, most of them are Pressure Washing Cincinnati. So the reason why I called my business Pressure Wash Cincinnati is because that's how my website was. And so Pressure Wash Cincinnati was my website. Pressure Wash Cincinnati was also my Google My Business. So those were things that I did to help get me up higher in the rankings. And so these are things that I did to help me get up there. I also put yard signs up here. I also did my Google ads up here. So these are where I did a lot of my marketing was up in this area by doing most of it online. Yes, I did use yard signs, but the number one thing that grew my business was the side of Google ads. Now, when I did Google ads, I did the whole tri-state and when I say tri-state, so this is Indiana over here. This is the line right here for Indiana. So there is like Greendale. There's a big subdivision up here by Perfect North. And so, the tri-state here, because this is Kentucky, on the bottom side of the river is Kentucky, over here is Ohio. So I did the tri-state, and so that's how I was able to do it. Once I first started, I bought a building down here, or I rented a shop down here in Erlanger, and then so I had to Google My Business there. I also had to Google my business up here because we had a shop right here in this little hole. And this is a hunting hole because this is where it is. And one of the things that Google My Business is looking for is proximity. And so proximity is very important of where you are. And here's the deal with this, right? If I type in pressure washing Cincinnati, I don't know if I'll still come up or not. So if I type in pressure washing Cincinnati, looky there, pressure washing Cincinnati. So I haven't touched this one in forever. Like I haven't touched this GMB. I still have access to this GMB, but I haven't touched this GMB forever. And so you can see right here where this is, right there, right here is where it is, right? And so this is pressure wash Cincinnati. Or no, that's not it. That's pressure wash Cincinnati. Where's my pressure wash Cincinnati at? It's right here somewhere. That's pressure washing Premier. Well, it's up here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it is up here somewhere. Let me zoom in here. Or did someone change it on me? Let's see, pressure wash Cincinnati. So if I click on it, there it is. So this is my pressure wash Cincinnati one right here. And so this one here, pressurewashcincinnati.com, that was the phone number. And so this is how I set this up here. So that got me there. So I actually had a GMB up here, which I had rented a shop, and I had a shop down there. And so if I go here and click on my photos, you'll see some of my photos, right? I've got people, I also did the dirty stuff. But here was my shop of where my shop was. And so the reason why this one don't have as many pictures is because I focused on my other one, but it finally got shut down. And so this one they still use because whoever bought it, they still get the phone call still rings for them. And so this is where I did this was so that way I can do for that. And so I actually had a shop up there, and this was a shop that, I mean, I didn't pay a lot. It was like $1,500 a month, but I made more off of this GMB than the $1,500 a month that I was there, because I only had the one garage door over here to the, well, you can't see it because this here, let's see, how can I do this? So right over here to the garage door is where I was at. This garage door was our building here. And so this was a different business. And so they rented this one garage here. And so that's how I was able to do it. They also rented this lot out. So I knew people that actually in this lot rented a lot and was able to get mail there. So then they made that their GMB. And so that's something that you can think about if you have a honey hole, that proximity is very important. And so what I did for my website, which they changed the website since I've sold the business, but what I did for my website is I called this Pressure Wash Cincinnati. It had its own phone number, so it's got its own phone number. It has a different phone number because my other phone number was an 859-379 number. So this was a 513-900. And so it has its own phone number, it has its own address, and it had its own web page. So it didn't just take them to the front page, it actually took them to a different one. Now it's called Amazingly Clean. So now this is the business that I sold to. And so they got places all over the country. And so you can see they got places all over the country. And so they actually took my website away, and now this is what they did. So that's kind of some things when you're looking at this and thinking about if you do decide to do that. It's a little bit harder to do that now in 2025 because Google has tightened up the rules. But that was something that we did. That's how I was able to get business up in that area. Hopefully that makes sense and I didn't make it worse. Did you know Moosey won national championship in soccer? I didn't know he won the national champion. Actually, I thought, I think I did hear that. That's kind of crazy. I'll be renting a 4.2 100-foot of hose. I have to buy a J-rod and a downstream injector. Yep. I've had a lot of callbacks for stepped on stakes along walkways. Any suggestions? Yeah, move them back. I try to move them back about 6 inches to a foot off the road. Because what I learned when I put them up against the driveway, they run over them and they do all kinds of stupid things like that. Do you still do Google ads? You set mine up 2 years ago, and I think I need them redone. I have not been doing much of them because I've been struggling with them. I'm probably going to set up 1 or 2 this year, and I'll see how they go. And I always run DJs for him. And so last year I didn't even run DJs hardly because I was struggling with getting people to call and stuff. Google has kind of gotten stupid here lately. Matthew, thank you for the super chat. How do you follow up on a sales call from a job you quoted the day before? Phone call. I'd follow up with a phone call because text and email is good, but a phone call is better because in that way you can answer any objections if they got. A lot of times what I learned from the phone call from the day after is a lot of times they don't even get the quote. So if they never got the quote, then that's a problem. And so 3 out of 10 times they never got the quote. So that's why we would always send a phone call to them. Have you investigated companies like RealWorks that map your jobs on your website with pics and Google reviews? Have you investigated companies like RealWorks? I have not. College kid started last fall and ready for spring. Here is my GMB. Hey, I typed in money bushes on Google to see about putting in an order. There wasn't a link to take me to that site. It should be moneybushes.com. I think it's still up. Last time I checked, it was up. Moneybushes.com. Maybe. Yep, it's still up. Moneybushes.com. Can you give me your opinion on my Google My Business, please? What is the name of it? Is a website really necessary for pressure washing marketing? My honest opinion is no. But if you want to get your Google My Business up, yes. Because they've kind of made it impossible to get a Google My Business without a website. And here's the thing. I can show you business after businesses that have made hundreds of thousands of dollars and they never had a website, right? And so a website can help, but just to say that it's needed, no. That's my honest opinion. Mr. Suds Pressure Washing in Van Buren, Arkansas. All right, I'll do one more of these, and then we'll probably be done. Mr. Suds Pressure Washing, Van Buren, Arkansas. All right, so you got 18 reviews, so you need more reviews. Reviews are super duper important. You got your times there, that's good. Phone number. Again, your Q&A, you need to get more Q&A. You don't have any post. You need to get your post going. That's another thing you need to do. Soft washing has become, nobody knows what soft washing is. People think they do. Pressure washing is the better keyword. I would talk about pressure washing because people don't know what, when people call you, they don't say, I need my house soft washed. Unless you're in Florida, they might. But most other places around the country, they don't say that, right? Most of the other people are going to say, I need my house pressure washed. You do have your profiles down here, and I didn't even check to see. This is another thing. Make sure that you're putting all your profiles of your social media stuff on Google, because it allows you to do it. Again, we're trying to give it as much information as we can. As we look at our pictures, what's this? Oh, it's a video of you. So you can do videos also, like he's doing here. Again, I would put pictures of you guys. You know, the picture of him standing the other way with the actual would have been a better picture. Don't just put dirty pictures, right? Put the actual house. At this point, you'd have been better picture of the house. We want to show who our customers are. Pools are good because pools mean that they got enough money to have a pool. They can probably have enough money to have a house. Again, we're just showing dirty. This is a good picture, you know, of the house, right? We want to show. I would rather see 10 pictures of the different angles of that house than I would of this. And I know this isn't as fun, but that's something that you got to do. You know, you're showing how it works. You're showing low pressure. I'd put my hand in front of it to show, hey, we use low pressure. We're not blasting your house, because that's what people think is they're blasting your house. This is a great picture, right? You got your yard sign, and you got that's a nice house there. You know, I'd like to have seen a little bit better grass, but you might not have a lot of good grass there in Arkansas. So those are things to see of what you're looking at. That's what I would post. Post pictures of you too. People want to know who you are, right? They want to make sure that you're not a big scary dude. So you got to show pictures of you. That will help you out a bunch. It will help you out a bunch. People want to do business with people, not with houses. You know, if you have a uniform on, that's going to be better. Try not to have bleached out pants. Those are some downfalls of that. You know, that looks professional. So looks good. So that's what my side of what I would tell you there would be. So if you want to learn how to grow a business in pressure washing, you should go to Pressure Wash or King of Pressure Wash, actually kpwtrain.com, or you can go to christmaslights.io. It'll take you to kind of the same page. And we're doing permanent lights on Sunday. We're doing pressure washing on Friday. And my favorite, and we will have Mr. Chris Johnson there also on Saturday. And we're going to be talking about marketing and sales and how to grow your business, because that is the most important day. I know a lot of people don't like that day, or that day is hard, but that day is the most important day. And with Chris there, he will be talking a lot about the sales. He'll be going over the DISC program, love languages, all kinds of awesome things that set yourself apart and help you grow your business. And so that's what we are going to do. Mr. George Yost, how are you doing? Big time in the house. What do you think about using High Level as a CRM? I think it's getting closer to it. It's not easy. That's what I would tell you. But there is a lot that they've done here recently with the estimate that will make it definitely work. Hey, Jason, what do you think about House Call Pro? It's a good CRM. Can you check my Google My Business to see if it's correct? Clayton, the pressure wash, I'm doing this right now. What I've said on them other ones is probably what's going on with you. Q&A on your website is really needed too. We make many of our done as video Q&A. Read the book, They Ask You Answer. Pre-educate your customer to estimate, go faster. iPhone videos are fine. I agree 100%. Don't be afraid to open up that camera and answer questions. You can't have pictures with your phone number on it, or if it's on your truck. Yeah, they don't like that. The number one page on our website is our gallery with loads of slider pictures. They are addicting to people who can't stop sliding. Once they slide, the first one. Much love for you. Thanks for taking the time checking out that. Stolen pictures have been removed. Used to be super consistent with posting updates and then stopped once football season started. You're right. Need to be doing it more. I'll get after it. Mr. Sterling Pressure Wash. I'm further south. Find me. Great information. Good night. Let's see. I'm finding more and more customers are becoming familiar with the term soft wash. Yeah, to a point. Good night. I'm in. Watch the. Good to see you. So, hope you all have a good night. Again, if you want to learn how to do it, come check us out. ChristmasLight.io or King of Pressure Wash. If you want to know when I go live, you can text the word King, K-I-N-G, to 859-696-1101. That's when I go live. Or you can text the word light, L-I-T-E. I actually didn't even do this one tonight, L-I-T-E. This is when I go live for Christmas lights, 855-619-5483. Other than that, I am going to bed because I got to get up early and got a 10-hour drive to do tomorrow. But other than that, I hope you all have a great night and a great weekend, and we'll see you all later.